Hey guys, welcome to BigDeckEnergy. Today we are doing our review of the Grind King lockers. Now we have slappied these. We have gotten cross-locked on these. We have tested them out in transition. We have taken them down drops. We have put the wheelbase back, we have taken out bushings, put new bushings on. We've done just about every test we can run on them, and they're still holding up really well. Now, before we get into the review, I want to mention I have only been skating these about a month, but I'd like to go ahead and get this review out because they are going to be hitting your skate shops, and the next round of lockers is being made, I assume, at the moment. Some of you have already pre-ordered them and they have probably gotten to your door or will be at your door soon. So for right now, this is just 1 month review. Usually most trucks I like to last at least 6 months to a year and a half. So really this is my review is going to be how they stand now after 1 month skating. I will be doing a 6-month update to let you know where they're at, how they're holding up, because these are fairly expensive trucks, and that's going to be part of the process. You really want, if something's going to cost more, you want it to last long. Also, just keep an eye out for my 6-month review. I will be updating you guys throughout all of this on how the trucks are performing. But for right now, I know some of you are ready to get them and you want to go ahead and get them. Just want to make sure they're good to go. And we will start with some of your questions. Shingo Biggs 4963 asks, how secure are the hardware holes? They look like hardware could slip if you bash the truck the wrong way. And have you tried the adjustable wheelbase? Yeah, I have tried the wheelbase. I really like having the adjustable feature. Currently I am rocking these on this board, and I'll have some footage later of it. This is the Laban Fideus board from Blockhead, and it actually has extra bolt holes in it already, so I just made a really wacky setup and set the bolt holes, set it on the wheelbase that's the farthest in, so the smallest wheelbase for this. And then I even went further and set the wheelbase on the trucks the furthest in. So right now this is like a 13.25 wheelbase, which is like the smallest wheelbase I've ever skated. And it's kind of fun. As far as them slipping, I've been bashing them into curbs plenty and they have not slipped at all. And it looks like so far there's not really a lot of wear and tear in the holes. And I mean, I've been skating these things pretty hard. I don't think slipping is going to be an issue. Next question. Okay, Second Skate UK says, how's the unlock feel on coping? I'm assuming the lock-in feels more solid. So I'm thinking the unlock might make stuff like reverts out feel a bit different. Thanks for the vids, brother. You're welcome. No, the unlock feels fine. I haven't had any issues with it. I've gotten a couple of revert tricks, but yeah, no, the lock-in works really well. I think there's a couple of tricks I've had to give just a little bit more nudge, but it's not something where it like takes a whole day of adjusting to really get used to it. It would just, you know, might mess up one time and then try it again. So yeah, no, the lock-in is excellent. Locking out, popping out, transferring over, anything you want to do, that you do with your normal trucks are gonna work pretty much fine with these. Next question. Okay, Sober Skater says, do you think this product is capable of making someone a better skater? I know there's no substitute for constant practice, but I'm hoping these unlock stuff for me. I think they have the possibility of making you a better skater. I would actually say it's kind of like, you know, in RPGs when you unlock a new piece of armor and it's got like a 10-15% buff to one of your stats. It's kind of like you're adding a 10 to 15% buff to your skating. Like, if you aren't already able to 50 a rail, but you have most of the skills to get on there, this will help you kind of get that balance in, and you will be able to do it a little bit better, but you have to already have some of the skills in place to get there. It's not going to automatically make you amazing at rails or anything. It's gonna make it a little bit easier, but I mean, don't think you're gonna smith a 15 set. Next question. How durable are they? I've heard it's better than Indies, from Jimmy Hong 8730. Also, if I screw up any of these names, I apologize. They're pretty durable. I haven't had any issues yet. Like, the only concern I have right here is where the kingpin and everything sits on the hanger. You get a little bit of grinding down, so I worry that that might wear away, but also so far they have proven me wrong on everything that I was worried about. This here, maybe once it's ground down to a certain point, it's not going to contact anymore. Now I've got the 2 top bushings in there, and I actually took that orange top bushing out earlier, and I noticed once that orange top bushing was out, I was not actually contacting that part anymore. So that might have something to do with it, but I think once you shed off a little bit of this, it's not going to keep grinding. But as far as like every other part of the truck, it has lasted pretty well. And yes, I do think this is a better option than Indies, and I love Indies, so keep that in mind. Next question. Can I fit the Indy-Crux Modern Inverted Kingpin in it? From Maxton. I don't know yet. Grind King, if you can comment on that in the comments below, let this guy know something. Also from Maxton, what is the best way to run them if you prefer tight trucks? I'd say probably standard. I haven't messed around with every bushing setting. Like I said, I've only taken the orange bushing out and left that top black bushing, but yeah, if you keep them standard, I think you can tighten them up enough where it's not going to be an issue. Next question. Wondering how much the wheelbase differs between the 3 bolt hole positions, and which one is your favorite? So if you go from the center bolt hole to the bolt hole back or forward, it's about 1/4 of an inch, I think, from the center of it to the other. So you've got 1/2 inch of play from the front bolt hole to the back bolt hole. So if you go, if you bring both of them in all the way, that's taking about 1/2 inch off of your wheelbase. If you bring them all the way out both ways, that's another 1/2 inch. So yeah, you got a lot of play there. I would say probably my favorite way to run them right now, which I'm not doing at the second because I'm gonna be taking some more impact soon, so I kept the top bushing in there. But my favorite way is I take out that top orange bushing and stick it in there, and it stays in there pretty well, and run just the black bushing, the bottom bushing, and then for my nose I slide it all the way back, and then keep my back truck pretty standard in the normal middle position. I like that best for my old school skateboards. That way works best for me for slappies, and I like it in transition on flat ground the best. But for stuff where I'm gonna be taking drops, I definitely like having all the bushings in there. Next question. Dave Poplin asks, any problems with the extra bushing storage in the base plate? And how about your overall tourney assessment? final comparisons with other brands. Okay, so the bushing storage, everything stays in there, which I like a lot because I have kids and I lose parts and they take them. So being able to put your bushing in there and not have to worry about it is super awesome. The only thing I would have to say is you do have to take the whole truck off to be able to get the bushing back out after you've put it in there. So if you're impatient, you might not want to do that, but for me, I think it's awesome. As far as the turning, I would say you are close to maybe like a Slappy or an Indy when you have it in the standard position. But if you take that extra top orange bushing out, I would say you are doing a little better than an Ace AF1. You've got a lot more turn and carviness. Probably the only thing that would beat the turn once you've done that is a stage 4 Indy. Those turn just a little bit better, but honestly I think for all the options you get with these and how light they are and everything else, I would stick with these. Okay, so now on to my basic overview, my basic review. Let's get into it. Okay, so I think these trucks are really great. I think anybody would love them, but I think especially anyone that suffers from board madness, these are the trucks for you. Being able to slide that wheelbase in so many different positions and do the different bushing settings, because all these bushings are a different durometer, a different thickness. They will change up your turn pattern wherever you switch them around. I just think having all those options really takes a huge part of the board madness out, because I mean, you can buy a board with almost any wheelbase and then slide it back to where it's like you've got half an inch less on your wheelbase, half an inch more, a quarter inch, you know, however you want to run it. I would also say anyone that hates breaking in new trucks, this kind of takes a good bit out of it, because I mean, you've already got your lock-in grooves in there, and I mean, they just feel really good out of the box. On top of that, these are some of the lightest trucks I have ever felt. I made a mistake and did not weigh them when I first got them, but I will tell you straight up, they feel extremely light, probably about as light, maybe a little bit lighter than the Ace Hollows. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about these trucks. And you know, full disclosure, they were sent to me by Grind King. I had asked them to send them to me and they obliged. So shout out Grind King, shout out to Ryan and Donald. I can't thank you guys enough. This has been an awesome experience testing these out. Really, I'm not going to ride any other trucks. These are my favorite trucks, and that's with, you know, Ryan and Donald asked me to tell them anything that I think is wrong with them. So literally the only issue I have had at all with these are whenever you do slide to the smaller wheelbase, you can't exactly make contact with a normal skate tool on the bolt right there. So you do have to get a wrench that you can fit in there and hold that bolt down to be able to tighten it. You're not going to be able to do it with the Grind King tool or any standard skate tool. You have to have something with open ends so you can actually grab onto it, because everything else is going to pinch right here in the material. But other than that, I have had no issues running these. Every different wheelbase I've messed around with has been super fun. Messing around with the bushings has been awesome. Being able to do the cross locks on a rail, I have never cross locked a rail, and that felt really cool on these. Yeah, they grind really well, they turn really well, they do everything that they were advertised as. So I guess we'll go ahead and give these a score. I am going to give these a 5 out of 5. These indeed have big deck energy. I don't think anyone is going to be upset with these. and I am gonna keep riding on them. I am making a video part right now, a full street part. I'm gonna be filming over the next 3 to 5 months, and hopefully I'll be able to get the part out, so I'm gonna be on these the whole time. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about them. Stick around for the footage on this setup. This tiny wheelbase has been a weird, super flicky, super poppy wheelbase. Everything spun really fast, and I had a little bit of fun yesterday. I didn't have enough time to get anything crazy, but I did get a couple of little bangers. So yeah, go check out the footage, and that is gonna be it for me today. Big Deck out.